also want to tap into your mind when you are on top of a mountain, because you seem to do it often. It seems to be, you know, a driving force in your life. Can you take us through one of your favorite summits and the mindset you gained on top of that mountain?
Yeah, there have been several. The most recent one that I just got back from a couple of weeks ago, I took 4 days and went on a mountaineering trip in North Cascades National Park into the Glacier Peak Wilderness. It's called the Ptarmigan Traverse. And so instead of just kind of one big summit, like, you know, I've climbed Hood several times, Shasta, Rainier, Adams, a lot of kind of these big volcanoes in the Pacific Northwest. But this was a much different experience because it was, you know, you got to plan almost like a backpacking trip, bring enough food and water and things like that for you to be out there for several days. But at the same time, we also have crampons and ice axes, and we're working on rope teams because we had to cross 5 glaciers.
Wow.
And it's just incredibly beautiful up there. I mean, you get up on some of these ridges, and it was my first time really spending time in the North Cascades, and it's just a seemingly endless area. And kind of like I said, there's something incredibly cathartic to me about spending time in those places and being in places that are truly wild. You know, coming back from that trip, it was just incredibly re-energizing and invigorating. I saw a mountain lion, and we kind of had like a little staring contest for a little bit. So that was kind of crazy.
Well, a lot of these journeys, I mean, I think you're getting a lot of the energy because they're not without risk. Like, you are definitely risking your life, and you're putting a lot of trust into your equipment and teammates. Tell me a bit about what pushes that limit for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of a situation where, you know, you're able to mitigate some of that risk by, you know, going through training, and I have had training in crevasse rescue and a lot of those types of things, being conservative in your judgment and picking, you know, when the conditions are right and things like that out there. I have training in like avalanche, like risk mitigation and things like that. And so it's kind of, the more you know, like the more comfortable you can be kind of putting yourselves into some of those places. And then also it's my friends that I go out there with, and you know, like a lot of them I've been on a lot of different trips with. You know, and it's just like we have like a really tight community in that regard. And you know, like some people might know more than me about some rope skills, but I know maybe something more about something like this. So it's like you can kind of take the holistic knowledge of the entire group to kind of mitigate some of that risk
and work as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think kind of pushing yourself past some of those fear and risky situations and finding it to the summit and then making it back to the car. I mean, I always try to strive for type 2 fun, right? It's like you kind of suck for a little bit when you're in it, or it's scary, or you think something might go bad, but then you go back to the car and have a beer about it later and laugh, and that was a good time.
Talk about how you almost died. So for my audience and the people here in Portland, as a man who is summiting mountains, is on the front lines of green utility, what are some impactful things you could spread to the community? Like,
yeah, I think it's just, you know, no matter how incremental it can seem at times, there's good work to be done out there, you know, and like we kind of have this organization that I work at Cub. We kind of have this grand vision of, you know, decarbonizing the electric sector and really kind of transitioning these utilities. But frankly, in the day-to-day, sometimes I can be, you know, bogged down in regulatory filings and cases that, you know, it's kind of hard to see the forest through the trees kind of situation. But yeah, just continuing to know that, you know, there's good that can be done and working hard towards it, and kind of seeing the bigger picture has really been helpful to me, and then kind of segueing that into the outdoor adventure stuff as well. Just trying to find balance and trying to find something that, you know, brings you joy and fulfills you in a way that work might not be able to, and kind of using the two to, you know, augment each other can be really impactful.
Awesome. Mike Goettz, everybody.